we want to get to story number 2 for today.
Yes.
And that is you, Ms.
Yes.
Tell us.
So let's talk about it. It's another update to a story that we've been following all week, and it has to do with the idling car situation.
Yep.
So I know you had tapped into this. There was a man by the name of Craig Williams, and he left his car idling while he popped into a 7-Eleven.
Right.
Sac PD points out that, an officer points out that's not legal. It's a misdemeanor crime. So he goes over, turns the car off. Craig Williams comes out of the store. And let's get a look at their first interaction. I didn't set that up for you very well, producer. Sorry.
Sorry.
So you have your car running.
That has nothing to do with what's going
It's
on,
a misdemeanor
man.
to leave your
That
car
has
running.
to do what's going on, man.
Plus you had your
That
stereo
has nothing
loud
do
to
with
where
what's
it can
going
be
on,
heard.
man.
I need your driver's
That has
license,
nothing to
please.
do with what's going on, man.
Driver's license, please.
Why am I getting harassed?
I've already told you your car was running
That's
and you were
against the law to have your car running? I'm just asking.
So you hear them discussing the situation, going, excuse me, I just left my car running, right? Well, I guess 54% of you, I'm not saying I'm guessing because I know 54% of you didn't know that an idling car was actually a misdemeanor crime.
I didn't know.
Right.
You didn't know. You say you actually do this often.
Yeah, my car charger only is active if the car's on. So
Oh.
sometimes I have to leave my car on just to get my phone charged.
Okay.
I
There
had
is
no
a nice
idea.
thing with cars
That's
these days where
scary.
you can lock your car, even though it's on.
Even though it's
Right.
idling?
You can lock it, yes.
true.
So that is nice.
Okay, it's nice, but yes, I guess it's a misdemeanor crime, and Sac PD is confirming that it is a misdemeanor crime. So
Yeah.
heads up to everyone, but because according to them and what we're looking at, they as in Sac PD, released 4 body cam footage videos.
Right.
We have them posted on our website if you want to watch each and every one of them, but that's what we're showing you pieces of, just so that we can see what exactly happened here, because it's Craig Williams' his word against what Sac PD is saying. Say, hey, we just went up to say this is misdemeanor. Can I get your ID? And then it escalated from there, given everything that's happening in terms of mistrust in the relationship between the community and Sac PD right now, right? So I want to listen again to another soundbite because this shows more of what happened between the two.
Grab me.
Don't grab me.
No,
Why
I'm
are
trying
you
to
grabbing
detain
me,
you,
man?
sir. Because I'm
come
trying to
on,
explain
man.
the law to you, and
Come
you're
on.
not.
No, there is no law.
Yes,
there
there
is
is.
no law for leaving
Yes,
your car
there is.
running.
I'm going to throw
Come
you on the ground here
You're
in a
not gonna
second.
go- Come
Yes, sir.
on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Man, what are you doing, man? Get off me.
Oh my God!
All right, I give up. I give up.
Oh.
So
Wow.
this is Craig saying it is not a law. It is not a law. And Sac PD is saying, yes, it is. Yes, it is. So it escalates from there. And he's saying, Craig is claiming that they were harassing them. Now we can see the video. It is very intense for something that was just, hey, dude, your car is idling. Let me see your ID. It escalated from there. Now that the body cam footage is out, my question is, does this help or hurt Craig Williams' case that he was harassed? Because, in fact, this was a misdemeanor crime.
Okay, so I want to say yes at the beginning of this. I think that it does
Same.
help his case.
Oh, you think it helps?
I do. I
Okay.
think it helps his case. But here's the thing, it's still just video. And I want to hear both sides of the story from the people. What exactly started everything?
Right.
Because at the base of the law that we reviewed a couple days ago when the story first came out, the parking lot of the 7-Eleven is technically private property. And the jurisdiction and the law covers public property. It specifically covers highways. And so for this to be a misdemeanor, I just don't understand how it falls into the jurisdiction of that law that everyone is citing as the reason for the arrest in the first place. I don't get it.
Well,
I need to know more.
And Craig Williams did have a press conference to say, hey, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
And he was actually partnered up with NAACP, and they put a list together demanding that there needs to be some changes, including the releasing of video footage right away. And you can check out that full list on abc10.com. But I don't know. In posing that question, I don't know because, okay, when it comes down to the law, right, it's rules. It's rules, and the rules state that this is a misdemeanor crime, and Sac PD has confirmed this. I'm not saying that I would, if I was in Craig Williams' shoes, I wouldn't know that. But how would I have handled the situation? What if if the police are saying, hey, this is not legal, can I see your ID? Do you hand over your ID and you just calmly do that, and then would it have let him go? You don't know. He was arrested because they're saying he was resisting arrest.
Yeah,
but I understand as a black man in the community why you feel a certain way about Sac
Exactly.
PD right now, coming off the Stephon Clark case. There are the relationship.
Tensions are high.
This is why SACPD is saying until we solve the relationship and the trust, this stuff is going to go from 0 to 100 real quick in a lot of situations and become much worse than they are. And who's to blame for that?
And I wish we had more information. With the release of this body cam, I'm hearing the struggle. You hear what went down, but because it's such close proximity, it doesn't really.
That's what I'm saying. You can't see anything.
Hey man, stop! Stop! You can't touch me there. Stop that!
It's tough.
Just based off the words, though, what are your initial reactions? If you know that
it escalated so
SACPD is saying,
quickly.
"Give me your ID because this is
Went from 0 to 60
illegal,"
like that.
and he goes, "No, it's not," and telling law enforcement that it is not a law when in fact it is.
It is.
So what? But do you blame SACPD for doing what they did? I mean, if they're asking for ID and you're not giving them ID, that's not complying with the police.
I know it's not necessarily the job of law enforcement to educate people on the law that they're questioning at that time, but with a law as unknown as this one, I feel like it could have helped the police officer situation. It could have helped the whole situation if he would have just taken a second to say, hey, we consider this a public property. We consider what you're doing to be illegal. I need to let you know this. Let me just get your information so we can explain this to you further. Just take it a step back. It's all about the approach.
Okay, Marion Daytil.
Oh, that's my
This
mama.
is Mama Daytil. She says, what started everything was Craig's attitude when the officer was trying to explain the law regarding idling cars. I thought the officer was being polite. Craig was being defiant. My opinion. I'm with Mama Daytil here.
Mom, we just do not see eye to eye on this one. I think he could have been much more calm, especially in a situation. We just came off of Stephon Clark's shooting. It's a time when you've got to be more careful in your approach with people.
But do you have to walk on eggshells now? When
When
you're going up and just saying, "Can I see your ID?" The cop did not pull the handcuffs out and say, "I'm going to arrest you because your car is idling." He said, "Can I see your ID?"
But it was like, why? At that point, I would want to know why you want to see my ID. And at that point, you could just calmly explain to me what the heck is going on.
I don't see why in a non-violent situation, a non-threatening situation, why manners can't come into play.
Amen.
Why just simple daily decencies in exchange.
Can I? And this is my setup, producer, so you know. I want to cue up that first video because I want to hear one more time now that you know the story. We've talked about it a bit, and I'm asking the question again. With the release of the body cam footage, does it help or hurt Craig Williams' case that he was harassed? And let's go ahead and play that video now.
So you have your car running.
That has nothing to do with what's going on,
It's a misdemeanor to leave your car running.
That has to do what's going on, man.
Plus you had your stereo loud to where it can be heard. I need your driver's license.
That has nothing to do with what's going on, man.
Driver's license, please.
Why am I getting harassed?
I've already told you your car was running.
That's
and
the
you were
reason for the law to have your car running? I'm just asking.
And then again, there's more to the video. But in that case, watching it again, he said, "For what? For what?" Craig Williams is saying, "For what?" And the officer is standing away from him and is explaining for what. And it escalates from there. Do you still?
No,
Do you see Mom's point?
I see Mom's point. Jessica Downey sees Mom's point. But here we go. Who's on my side? Jess and Rojas.
On my side, right.
Oh, no. Daphne. Who? Oh, yes. Daphne Carson. You're on my team.
What does she say?
The officer could have handled it a bit differently given the tension at present.
Okay.
Sunny Doll's on my team.
What is that?
Who's that?
Sunny Doll.
Well, okay, what
did Sunny D? She says she has a remote start for her car to keep it running. Why have an illegal feature? So I'm not such an idiot for keeping my car.
There you go.
Car companies design cars to run by themselves.
Well, car companies will also give you a leased vehicle with tint that's too dark and let you roam on the streets, and then you get a ticket. So don't trust the car companies all the time. They're trying to make the cheddar, okay?
There was another part of the story that adds to the tension. Exactly. He left his music on so loudly in the car, and that can be a disturbance to anyone. I hate when I'm driving down the street and I can hear word for word the song, any Drake song that I hear next to me, and I'm like,
right.
See, in that part, I'm like, is that against the law, though? But is that against the law? I mean,
I got a ticket one time for disturbing the peace because my boom in my car.
Look at
No
you.
way.
Okay, radio DJ.
He has a drop top. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. With David.
5-0.
Let's see. David Wong said, "Heard that, Mark? We need to truly become a civilized species." There was one comment that, Patrick Hunter, law enforcement stop people with false accusations all the time. Says #facts. Kay Mensa, the cop could have used his time checking on people driving and texting. That makes a difference. So some people are saying, why are you even going after an idling car? Are you out to get people?
I still haven't heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, have we heard from that 7-Eleven whether or not they made a call to the police? Because if the business said, hey, there's somebody on my property that is disturbing the peace and I need them to get off, this is a bit of a different situation in my opinion. But I don't know. I don't know that to be true yet. We should probably look into that.
Because you want to know then what's going on inside the store if Craig Williams had his car idling. But would the police know what was going inside? Maybe if they got a call.
If they got a call, and if somebody from 7-Eleven, I'm really just spitballing here.
Yeah.
If somebody from 7-Eleven had already come out and told him about his car, I don't know. We don't know what happened.
Jess Rojas, you always comply with police officers. If you believe your rights were violated, then you have the right to take legal action. Okay, we'll see where this goes. Again, NAACP coming to Craig Williams' defense, obviously, and saying there's better ways to handle this situation. We have a list for you. They wrote that list out, and that includes releasing the body cam footage, which I will say again, SACPD released it in a timely manner.
Right.
They have, 90 days to release, and this was, again, released within hours and days,
So, Mr. Mark.
Jessica points out that there are all kinds of laws that we probably don't know about. Did you know if you have something dangling from your rearview mirror, that's illegal? Did you know that?
I did not.
Like if you have dye?
If you have yeah, exactly. My fuzzy dice in my car are illegal,
Dye
it turns
just
out.
one? Okay. If you have dice, who just has like one dye thing? Is it dye? Why are you guys looking at me like I'm crazy?
I'm trying to think of.
Hold on.
My Jesus bobblehead is illegal.
Jesus, Bob, get out of here. Thanks for watching us here on the ABC 10 Information Network. If you want to see more stories just like this one, click subscribe.